Hi, I'm Lork, and welcome to the video in which I have to go through adventure, mini-games, puzzle and survival without the plants that give the sun, sunflower or sun-shroom. Let me tell you right away that I was very inspired by Shaggy Mask's video to make this video. The link to his video will be in the description, although I think everyone has already seen it. As you can understand, I myself really wanted to play so, and of course try to pass everything written on this tombstone, and what will come of it, you will see now. Let's start with the adventure, because everything else is not available to us yet. The first level, there are no sunflowers on it, only pea shooters, probably the most ideal level for this challenge. And here's a sunflower. What's the matter? There's no way to click on it. Yay, it worked. Although we can't use it anyway. The second level, there is a life hack. The game requires you to put a sunflower, or rather 3 at once, but since it is not in our power and ability, for about a minute we can collect sunflowers from the sky, and thereby accumulate a good starting capital before the first zombie appears. Thanks to this, the level has become even easier, even without sunflowers. A conehead zombie. He won't cause us any special problems. Who didn't know? One of the pea shooter on the first cells calmly manages to cope with it, and 2 even more so. Even the cherry bomb didn't come in handy. Oh, walnut, I'm sure you will be useful to me in this challenge. And with a completely open field, that's for sure. A shovel, I don't think I'm going to dig something with it, because every plant is very important. And if it was possible, then I knock some zombie. Or you, Dave. Bang, bang, bang. You're sick of forcing these poor pea shooters to dig up. But, alas, I have no other choice. I must say right away that mini-games are very pleasing in this challenge. We definitely won't have any problems with them. Oh, a pole vaulting zombie. One pea shooter can't cope with it. The potato mine we received will come in handy. It will serve together with the walnut as a barrier for the athlete to jump. Snow pea, you will be stuck in my slots for a long time, and it really is. He's very good for his price. Level 1.10. The game gives us a chance to chill, because after this the night begins. At this stage, the sun no longer falls from the sky. Thank you for coming up with a little puff shroom. It costs 0 and really cool. The sun-shroom, as I said before, we can't use you. This means, everything that we will be given, and what will cost more than 50 suns, we cannot afford. Although a puff shroom destroys zombies, even a buckethead zombie wins relatively easily. A screen door zombie are very difficult to defeat, but do not forget, we have 50 suns. This is 1 walnut, or 2 potato mines. I think 2 potato mines will be more useful.
Bum, bum.
Minigame 2.5, here zombies play the role of sunflowers. I wouldn't mind it always being like this, although, in some modifications it works that way. A football zombie appeared. Where, but obviously not in this challenge. I like to see you. Okay, a screen door zombie. It can still be defeated somehow. But no, I will only hope for potato mines and mowers. There are only 2 football zombies, not everything is so bad. Oh my god, a screen door zombie and a football zombie are on the same level. Phew. In general, I don't understand why after a difficult level 2.7, an easy level 2.8 immediately goes. Dancing zombies are not so cool. Oh, the note. It says what everyone should do. Level 2.10, it's special for us. We can put not only a puff shroom on it. And here's the pool. I haven't been so happy for a long time since the change of location. Squash. You needed to fight with football zombies. Level 3.3, a snorkel zombie appeared. Surprisingly, I had no problems with him. But there were problems with the land, or rather with his nearby. It didn't work out. No luck. And now there's already a problem with water. Finally, though, what am I happy about? After all, now it will be level 3.4. I don't like it. Huh? What destiny have you come to me with? Buy the 8th slot? Yes, of course, take my money. Lol. This is the first time I've seen Dave offer to buy an 8th slot. Apparently, I didn't save 5,000 coins before the store opened. It would be interesting to check whether he will give the opportunity to buy the 9th slot, when accumulating the required amount. But that's for later. Someday, if I don't forget, I'll check it out. Well, the 8th slot was useful to me. After buying it, I was able to pass the level immediately. No sun, no problem. Level 3.6, Zomboni. Oh, no. Okay, you can also cope with Zomboni, but how to destroy zombie bobsled team? Although what am I being stupid about? I forgot about Chomper. Level 3.8. A dolphin rider zombie appeared. Even without a sunflower, it is not a problem. You just need to put a lily pad or seaweeds in front of it. The penultimate level at this location, and to say that it was difficult, is nothing to say. Then pole vaulting zombies will spoil it. Then ducky tube zombies. Then ducky tube zombies with a cone head. But still, by changing the 3-peater to a snow pea, everything turned out. By the way, as it turns out, there is a ducky tube zombie with the flag. He'll probably be my favorite zombie. He's really cool, a little chill, and we get a Sun-shroom. This means that I am moving to a foggy location. Here we are limited in tactics and plants. These are all the plants we can buy, and one more that won't be needed. So there was a balloon on a zombie. Lawn mowers, I believe on you. And not in Vi. Everything worked on the first try, and now, it's not the first one, but it still worked out. Vase breaker. There are no sunflowers here, as you can see. By the way, it's strange that all the minigames are adapted to the location. And this is special, not on the fog takes place. Level 4.9 is a complicated version 4.4. It also failed to pass on the first attempt, and with the second, and with the third, but with the fourth, it turned out cool. A few rainy levels. How zombies fly on balloons in this weather is unclear. Cabbage, just not this one, but this one. It's certainly not bad, but Colonel Pult is better. The catapult zombie, what should I do with it? Oh, that's right, I completely forgot about the puff shroom. It would be possible to put it on a location with a pool. This is a free version of the walnut, but that's okay. Now I'll use it as a target for a catapult zombie. Gargantuar appeared. Oh, but that's alright, because we have a potato mine. Squash. Level 5.9 was not difficult unlike the previous one, but Jack-in-the-Box zombies, in his first attempts, competently pushed on and blew up 3 middle rows. For the first time I see that they do everything so competently. Phew, it didn't happen again. A letter from the Dr. Zomboss himself. Wow, what a caring, yet beautifully written. Well, I hope you haven't forgotten. By the way, what was the problem and for a letter to make the background of the roof? For example, well, the boss itself in this challenge is easy, because nothing limits us, doing everything by tactics where the boss will spawn zombies only on one line, without touching the rest. So, we're through the adventure. It wasn't difficult, it took only 10 hours, 43 minutes, 38 seconds. Now we have all the stages open and we have a choice, unlike the beginning. Although who cares, I'm still going to go through in order, starting with the minigames. Zombotany. I place puff shrooms, potato mines, coffee beans, nothing else is needed. Walnut bowling. Do you see suns and sunflowers in general here? I don't either, so I suggest that such levels, minigames, be skipped. Slot machines. Oh no, here we need to collect 2,000 suns, but we can't put sunflowers. Collecting them from the sky in the machine is not an easy task.
2 hours later, 3 hours later.
Well guys, you really need luck here, or help from EA, for it to come out the way I did in this attempt. Just look for yourself. The next minigame with sunflowers, seeing stars, and it's not as easy as I thought. If you do things slowly, you can stop at the moment when there are 2 star fruits left, and you plant anew, as at the same moment some other one eats the zombies. On the second attempt I managed to complete. Next, bobsled bonanza. In fact, there are many games where sunflowers aren't needed at all, but even so I passed them for some reason instead of skipping them. You can see it in the rewind. So, bobsled bonanza, I already have a rough idea of how to pass it, and all surprisingly came out. I used to think that this minigame is difficult, but now I can't say that unequivocally. Zombie nimble zombie quick, a great minigame for this challenge, even though we lost the lawnmowers, but it wasn't difficult. The minigame last stand, and it is forbidden to take sunflowers and sun mushrooms. Too bad, and I wanted to take them so badly. Zombotany 2 does not differ in terms of tactics from the first, but it has become a little, very little more complicated. The minigame.
Faites Pogo.
I had to sweat it out for about 2 hours trying to work out tactics, and just when it was starting to work, Pogo Zombie realized on the last wave that he was 2 gloom shrooms short of death. This is random, no otherwise. Because it determines whether you lose at the beginning of the level, and then throughout the level. In general, 2 more hours I tried to think of something. And the best tactic was to take the gloom shroom, magnet shroom and walnut. Finally, I never thought that I would be sitting on this minigame for almost 4 hours. There's a boss battle left. It's no different from the one you've seen before. There are also no sunflowers here, that is, we also passed the all mini games. And next are the puzzles? Well, in the puzzles, in Vase Breaker, there are no sunflowers, but I passed them anyway. But in iZombie, it is impossible not to interact with sunflowers, that is not to eat them. So we will not be able to play it, and that means we move on to survival. I won't think about the bad, survival day. The gloom shroom tactic is awesome, but even more so if they have magnet shroom behind them. And while I was thinking about what to plant next, survival was already over. Survival night. Here's the bad I was thinking about. As you know, it's impossible to get the sun at night. So we have only two plants that we can use, a puff shroom and an imitator puff shroom. 2 waves, almost 3, survived out of 5. Somehow too bad. Let's at least try to survive the full 3 by waiting for a good spawn. No, what is this at all? Well, 3 waves survived, even 3.5, and I think if there was a very good spawn of graves and zombies, would survived all 4. But not 5. Survival pool, and I mean it's even easier than survival day. All thanks to the water, nothing cooler than Ducky Tube Zombie, with a bucket, which with a flag you cannot think of. That is no football zombie and the like, but with magnet shroom, even the one I named not at all scary. It's frustrating that's all I can land in 5 waves, but if it's enough to get through, I don't mind. And now we move on to something even scarier than night, survival fog. And here we have the opportunity to add the sea shroom to our free plants. It sounds cool, great, but it's not that great because we have 1 imitator, so we can't spam the planting of both mushrooms. At first attempt I managed to survive 2 waves, but let's try again to survive at least full 3. And you won't believe, in my second attempt I managed to survive not only 3 waves, but even 4. That's why I cannot survive 5 waves using only free mushrooms. Okay, let's not dream and move to survival roof. Oh, it's not as good as it was during the day or in the pool. Gloom shroom do not cope. Nevertheless, having tried many other tactics, I want to take back what I said. There is nothing better than gloom shroom in this survival. And after refining my tactic, this is what I got. Here's gloom shroom, here's not gloom shroom, and here are 2 melon pults and 3 magnet shrooms. It was with these tactics that I was able to easily pass. A survival hard begins. I am sure that I will be able to pass the day, but with the rest I'll just have to guess. I decided not to change tactics. Mushrooms, magnet shrooms and melon pults. As long as it works, there's no point in coming up with something else. Survival night, hard. Do you think we can survive 3 waves here, just like in the normal survival? We can. Let's then move on to survival pool hard. Here on the pool is the most interesting to survive. A lot more tactics you can do. Actually, yes, you can. But the only thing I had to move the plants on 1 column and magnet mushrooms are now not on the water, but on land. Yee. Damn, it's the fog again. Don't you think we got there kind of fast? Well, I'm hoping for 4, okay, at least 3 waves to go. Buckethead zombies are constantly coming after all. 3 waves passed, well, good, I do not need more. Roof hard, here we won't be able to save on flower pot, and plant gloom shroom on the 3rd columns at the beginning. So we just have to wait for a normal zombie spawning at the beginning. Wow, at the 2nd attempt a normal spawn, awesome, amazing. Although no. But that's my mistake. Could have planted magnet shroom, but not that. Here, I built what the first time will handle everything, so I don't even know what to comment on here. Well, I planted melons pult, magnet shroom, then dug them up, put umbrella leaf, and then the end of survival with gargantua and zomboni. Finally. Phew. It seems that all that is in the game and could pass without sunflowers or sun shrooms. I passed. I hope you enjoy the video. It took me a long time to make, only the video recording lasted more than 30 hours. And I will be very happy if it was not done in vain. Thank you so much for such a great activity under the last video. Well, goodbye everyone.